Recording. Okay, awesome. So also our next wealth webinar and the last one of 2022 is on next Sunday. All right. So we will not have a week between this wealth webinar and the next one. So don't forget, I know you all are accustomed to us having them every other week. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and mark your calendars now, because our last wealth webinar of the year is going to be on next Sunday, December the 12th. Let me just see you put next Sunday in the chat. I just want to make sure that you are paying attention and that you won't forget that you do not have an off week in between this time. The next wealth webinar is next Sunday. Yes, yes, yes. I see the next Sunday is rolling in. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So next Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please save that. You do not want to miss that. Dr. Jewel has some amazing, amazing, amazing information that she's going to share with you that will help you to end out this year in just an amazingly great place and jumpstart 2023 in a way that you've never jump-started a new year. Okay, so make sure that you jump on. Also, our $1 Million Challenge. We are currently at $1,084,170.88. Give yourselves a hand clap for all of you that have contributed to that. Those of you that still need to get your numbers in, it's not too late. Okay. So I did see a couple of people asking about that in the Telegram group. It's not too late to get those $1 Million Challenge numbers in. Okay. So you can find, if you forget, then you can always go to jeweltanker.com, and the drop down menu where you see it says Millionaires Club, on that drop down, it'll say $1 Million Investment Challenge. You can get it there. You can also find the information right in Telegram. So those pinned posts that we have at the top, we've left those up for you all for a reason, because they have all kinds of information. So we do have one of those pinned posts that gives you the direct link that'll take you right to the challenge. It gives you that password and everything right there. So make sure that you are logging in all of your investments. We are so proud of you all for not just investing, but investing on a consistent basis. So I know a lot of you really took this challenge seriously, and you said, you know what, I'm going to create a healthy habit of investing. I'm going to create a healthy habit of paying myself. So pay God, pay myself, then pay everything else, right? So we've heard Dr. Jewel teach that time and time again, and you pay yourself by investing. So congratulations to those of you that are investing in an amazingly prosperous future. Be sure to get those numbers in. Okay, so we do have Money Mondays every single week at 12 noon. Okay, so we did take a break this past Monday, but we'll be right back at it tomorrow. Those do stay up in the Millionaires Club Facebook group. So if you've missed any of those, be sure to go back and watch those. If Katie is on here, I did just see your you asked me a question on my last one. I did just see that question. And so I promise you that I'll get to it after this and I'll answer your question, but very good question. So if you've not been participating in those, then you are leaving money on the table. Make sure that you go back and watch those Money Mondays. They're short, sweet, give you practical information that you can implement very quickly to start to see a turnaround when it comes to your finances and to see a shift in your mindset concerning your money. Okay, so come eat with us on Mondays at 12 noon Central Standard Time. We are so excited about the new challenges that we're going to have in January 2023. Have you all enjoyed the $1 Million Investment Challenge? If you've enjoyed the challenge, let me get some fire emojis in the chat. If the $1 Million Investment Challenge, and really any of the challenges that we have, if it has stretched you in any way, if it has motivated you in any way, if it has caused you to develop some type of investment habits, or at least be more conscious about investing, thinking about investing. Okay, great. So there is so much more where that came from. We are going to be kicking off January the 8th of next year, a couple different challenges. So the first one is going to be a 5-figure interest challenge. Okay, so Camille posted a video in Telegram. You see, Telegram is where it's at. So if you are not in Telegram, you're missing out on all of this information. So she posted a video in Telegram a couple days ago talking about the importance of being connected and plugged in, because you don't want to miss out on some of this 5-figure action that we've got coming up with you for you in 2023. So I won't spill all the beans, but just know there's a 5-figure interest challenge coming your way. And then also we're going to have a $2 million investment challenge for next year. So we definitely did more than $1 million. I'm very, very confident that we can do 2 million and even more next year. And we are just really, really committed to helping you all increase your cash flow, increase your investments, and we're going to do it together, and we know we'll make it happen. So are you excited about those upcoming challenges? Woohoo! I know I am. Last announcement is we are going to take over Paris in 2023. Those dates are November the 6th through the 11th. And we did talk about Paris on the last wealth webinar, but we will be going into some more details on that tonight as a part of one of the things that we talk about tonight. So if you feel like, what? I didn't know you were going to Paris. Yes, I want to know, sign me up for that. Don't worry, you have not missed it. You still have time to get plugged into that amazing trip. I'm telling you, it's going to be life-changing. We have partnered with a luxury concierge travel company that is making sure that Paris is an unforgettable experience of a lifetime for you. Even if you've been on any of the other trips, any of the other getaways, you cannot even fathom the type of experience that Paris will be. It does not compare to anything that we have done up until this point. You guys know that we work really hard to make sure that we're constantly leveling up, that we're constantly giving you more value, that we're always outdoing the next one is better than the last one, right? And Paris will not disappoint. I am so excited about this. You want to make sure that you are there because it will be transformational for you and your families. All right, I am done with the announcements, turning it over to Camille.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Asha. Hey, everybody. Hey, millionaires, welcome to the call. I'm actually going to open up with prayer, and we are going to get started. So, Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you so much. I thank you for every person under the sound of my voice. I thank you for every member of the Millionaires Club. I thank you that as we get ready to wrap out this year, that you're giving us insight and wisdoms and strategies on what our next moves will be for 2022 on to 2023. I thank you for our amazing leader, Dr. Jewel Tanker. And I just thank you that you continue to give her strategies and give her insight that she shares with the masses. I thank you for increase in wisdom. I thank you for increase in insight. I thank you for increase in risk tolerance. I thank you for increase in movement. And I thank you that not only are we hearers, but we are actually doers of the things that we hear. We love you and we thank you for all that you're doing. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, you guys, millionaires, it's good evening. I was going to say good morning, but good evening. I'm so excited to be on here with you all. Before I jump into what I'm going to be sharing, and you want to make sure you stay on for the whole thing because y'all know I'm a big girl on strategy. I love strategy. I love systems. And so what we're going to be talking about today is going to be getting you set up for 2023. But before we do that, I am so excited. Ashia just talked about the Paris trip, and she talked about our luxury concierge that is going to be taking care of us. I had the opportunity to meet Michelle earlier this year. And she's actually about to break down some more information on Paris. Many people have reached out to us because not only do you want to come to Paris, but you also want your families to come, your children, your grands, or whoever that is. And so Michelle is going to share more information about the trip, but we're also going to drop a link so that she can help you customize a package specifically for your children, well, for your family, I will say. So depending on who that is that you want to come, she'll be able to help assist with that. And so we had the opportunity to experience her services when we went to Mexico for about 5 days earlier this year. And it was just amazing. From getting off the plane, we had drivers ready to take us to the hotel, the meals, the schedule, like everything. And like Dr. Ashia said, we always are looking to scale up. And so even I want you all to take this because you've watched us, those who've been with us for years, how we continue to scale. And a lot of times you see myself, Ashia, and Marquita doing a lot of things, but it's like, okay, as we keep expanding, we have to keep adding to the team. And so these are things that I want you to pay attention to, because even in your own individual businesses, there are going to be some things that you have to do yourself. But as you continue to scale, you have to be willing to delegate and expand so that you can continue to grow, right? So that's just a lesson in itself. But what I want to do is bring Michelle up really, really quick. She's going to lay out some details on Paris. We went over some on the last call, but she's going to lay it out, show her slides. We'll drop a link. If you're ready to go ahead and register and secure your spot for Paris, you can. If you need something customized, we'll have a link for that as well. And so y'all have y'all pen and paper ready and have your questions ready. So Michelle, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi there.
Hey.
Can you see me yet? Hello, everybody. Hi, friends. I'm very, 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 excuse me, excited to be meeting your group and taking you to Paris. One of my favorite things in life is making people smile and giving them an experience that's just a little bit above what they get other places. And I've been doing this for about, 14 years now. And so I know a little bit about what makes you tick and what's going to make you love this trip so much. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to go into the, okay, are you now seeing the screen?
I don't yet.
Okay, stand by. Let me see if I can fix this. Never works when you want it to. Share screen. Yeah, here we go.
Yep.
Okay, how about now?
Yes, ma'am.
You got the website, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not sure what URL you have going to this, but you might want to drop that in there for them right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Paris in a very unique way. And when Dr. Jewel and Camille talked to me about this the first time, they said, nothing's too good. Let's show them what this is really all about. Let's see Paris the way everyone in the world is probably not going to get a chance to see Paris. So we're going to take you to some of the most popular places in Paris. And we're going to take you to some very unique places. We're going to do a lot of private things. I decided to skip the slides and go kind of into this right here at first. This is the actual website that I'm on where you can book the trip. But I just want to go over a little bit about it. This is 6 days and 5 nights at the 5-star Mandarin Oriental Paris. Very beautiful place, very centrally located in the main shopping areas, which I'm sure everybody's going to love when we have our off time, which we have made sure to, bake in a little off time here for everybody so you can go do some of the things you would like to do on your time too. We currently have superior room accommodations. Now, that room will hold 2 people. So for those of you who have bigger families, friends, whatever you're going to bring with you, those are the people that will need to chat with me, because we'll have to get with the hotel and say, here's how many people they have. And we will customize it, just like she mentioned. I'll let you know what type of room that is, what the price difference would be to add the people into it. And one other thing, we were kind of talking about the children. I'll get children's pricing, but the hotel also has a concierge that can help set up for, like private babysitters, if anybody's going to need that while we're there too. So on top of staying at a very beautiful hotel, you're going to have 2 half-day Millionaires Mastermind training sessions, one-on-one, right there in the beautiful Paris. You're all going to be there together. Like she mentioned, it's going to be mind-opening, probably mind-boggling. I've not been to one, but I'm sure I'm going to experience a little bit of it here. We do have your breakfast included deal, you'll notice that there is a lot of food included in this particular package. Every day you'll have breakfast right there at the hotel. So before we start the trainings or before we head out on any type of excursion, you'll get a good breakfast in. There's going to be 2 lunches that you'll see. So, sorry about that. Included, I'll go over there. There's 3 dinners. So there's quite a bit of food included. But you're going to start by showing up to the airport. You're going to have your own private driver that's going to pick you up. They're going to load your luggage, bring you on over, and get you to me. And when you get to the hotel, my team will be there. We're there to help you, greet you. Like we're just there for you. We're there to make sure that you are going to have the absolute best time that you could possibly have in your whole entire life on this trip. And I promise you that is our goal. So hopefully you'll feel that a lot. We're going to do a on-site, so right at the hotel, which I find is best on the very first night of long travel days like that. We're going to do a welcome to Paris group dinner. And during that dinner, Candora is going to be coming in, and they're going to be giving us a perfume / cologne, whatever you want to do, creation workshop. And they're going to teach us how all the different smells go together. And you're going to walk away from that workshop right there with well, I won't give you the whole secret, but a designer bottle of your perfume that you created while you were in Paris to take home with you from Candora. They will also keep that recipe on file if you ever want to reorder it again. I don't know if it's called recipe, but that mixture, I guess that was my word. If you've not done that type of an experience before, trust me, you're going to absolutely love it. Okay, so then we're also going to hit up the very famous Moulin Rouge. And the Moulin Rouge is a burlesque show. So I want everyone on here to know that it's tasteful. It's not a strip show, but there may be some nudity. And I just want everyone to be completely aware of that. If this is not something that you want, you don't want to take your children to, we can figure things out. You only have to be 12 years old to go into here, so I can't think it's too awful bad. But with that said, I just want to let you know that this is going to be a show that's going to blow your mind. We are sitting VIP in the very front with a champagne dinner before, and when you walk out of there, you're going to be wowed. So we're going to start it off with a kick, right? We're going to go to the Moulin Rouge. We're going to also visit the Eiffel Tower. We have a private tour, and they're going to take us into a couple areas that many people don't go into. And then we're going to eat we're going to eat lunch within the tower at Madame Brasserie. So you'll have window seats overlooking the city for our lunch. You'll have a really neat tour that's customized to your group. And like I said, lunch. Here's a fun one. I know what we all want to do in Paris, or many of us want to do in Paris, is shop. So we are going to do a neat little thing. We have a shopping guide that's going to take us, and we're going to go to a couple different styles of shopping, right? Levels of shopping. We're going to go to an area where it's all local handcrafted items that are very unique that you can give as gifts or take, or however you want to do that. But we'll hit up the handmade stores, which I tend to really, really love. And then we're going to work our way into basically the Rodeo Drive of Paris, which, by the way, ladies, this is where we're staying, is on this strip. So as we end there, as the shopping tour ends, it doesn't have to end for you. You can stay down there and continue to shop and literally walk right back to the hotel, because we'll be in that area. Let's see. Palace of Versailles. We're going to visit there, and we're going to do it inside a 3-course lunch and drinks. And we are going to have, again, a customized tour for us. There's a couple places in the Palace of Versailles that most people don't go to that we are going to be visiting. So that'll be pretty neat. And this place, I think you've probably seen pictures of it. It just reeks of grandiose and success. And I think you're really, really going to love going to this place. Before we leave Paris, we are going to go on a riverboat cruise. It's a Michelin chef. So let me read this off so I do this right. He calls it a gastronomical experience. It's a dinner cruise above the Ducasse Paris, owned by Alain Ducasse, the most Michelin-starred chef in the world. So my guess is this is going to be an absolutely fantastic dinner. You will have the whole section of the boat to yourself. It's all glass. We'll cruise down the river. We'll have the dinner. And then we will also have, of course, the view of the tower with the sparkling lights from the water. So you're going to get the daytime tour of the tower when we go there. And then you'll get the nighttime view during the dinner. A couple of these things down here: complimentary Wi-Fi, access to fitness center. That's just standard things. We do have some early bird pricing currently. And I think, Camille, did you want me to go over all this too, pricing?
You can kind of explain to them briefly what
Okay.
that looks like. Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to run $94.99 per person double, meaning 2 people in the room, $94.99 each. If you're in the club, you've got a code. I'm sure Camille has already given that to you. You can plug in that code when you check out and get it for only $89.99 per person. So you're going to get a $500 discount off of that. Again, that's double occupancy. Let's scroll down here. The other thing that we have done to take the sting off of a big chunk right now for Christmas is a payment plan. And there is a payment plan option. We're going to keep this open until February 28th. So you can click into the payment plan at any time between now and then. There are 6 payments. First one is your deposit, and that is considered a payment. And there is a fee of $299 per room that's added into your payment for the payment plan. So I don't need to go into how it's set up and what you put down. You can come back onto the site and look at this for all of those details. And then we are going to have a couple optional experiences. The reason I don't have these live yet is we're still working on some details on these for you. On the day that we do the shopping experience, there is going to be an option to come into the second experience, which will cost money. And I don't have the prices on that yet, so that's why another reason it's not up. But we're going to close down Dior for 2 hours, and you're all going to have private shoppers in Dior for the 2 hours that you're there. So I think that's a pretty fancy schmancy shopping right there. I think everybody would really love that. If you have never done or have never seen a flying dress photo shoot, this is going to be one of our options too. I can't even tell you what an amazing experience this is while you're there in that dress and they're throwing it in the air and you're getting your picture taken and you feel like literally like $1 million. So watch for this to come out too as soon as we have all that set up, and we'll set you up for a flying dress photo shoot. That again will be optional. Oh, I'm sorry, you email me for that. Right, here's my email address, by the way, everybody. mc@baylifegetaways.com. If you have a question about the flying dress photo. And when you ask about it, I will ask measurements when you come back to let you know what style and color dresses would be available for you. So you can come on the site, you can see the itinerary. You're going to come in, we're going to check in. We'll basically hold your hand through check-in. We're going to get you on the welcome dinner and the perfume experience. And then the next morning you'll have free. And then of course you'll get your breakfast in, then you'll have your training to the mastermind. Oh, one of the things that wasn't listed up there is you will have tickets to the Louvre while you're there. This is a self-guided, you walk through it when you want to type thing in the free time. So you're going to get those two. And then that night we head off to the Moulin Rouge. Again, free time until 10. We're letting everybody get in nice breakfast, walk, sleep, whatever you like to do in the morning, coffee. And then we'll go to the Eiffel Tower. And then we'll go shopping. And then some of us will go shopping again for the private Dior session. On day 4, we'll spend the majority of the day at the Palace of Versailles. And then once we get back into town, you'll have free time and do whatever you want there. Again, like I said, we're centrally located. So much to do. I've got lists of all the hot, hot spots at night, and we'll get all of that for you. And on Friday, the last day, you'll end with the second Millionaires training. And then you have a lot of free time that day. And then we're going to go do this Michelin starred chef river experience, gastronomical experience. So I think that's a really good way. It's like the grand finale of the trip. And I think I just laugh because I just know how much everyone's going to love this. I get very excited. I get very passionate about these because I've been really, really engrossed in creating this trip for you. And I sometimes it's hard for me to portray to you exactly how excited you should be, but I'm going to tell you right now, you should. Okay, so let's go back to, oh wait, I'm going to go back out of here if I know how to do that. Actually, I really don't have much left to go over. Camille, are there any questions in the chat that I could answer?
I don't see any questions. I feel like you were very thorough in, just explaining the trip, what it all entails. As far as like the price points, which was great. I reposted the links if you want to go ahead and register for your spot. And I also posted a link if you need to get with Michelle about a custom situation for your family.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just encourage you all to fill that out. And Ashia just posted in the chat, if any of you have questions for Michelle, definitely right now is the time to ask those questions. But thank you, Michelle, for jumping on. We're going to see if anybody has any other questions. But if not, you did exactly what we needed you to do.
Good.
Yeah, you did exactly what we needed you to do to lay it out. I really encourage each of you all to set yourselves up to participate. Dr. Jewel is really big on exposure. And so I encourage you, don't count yourself out, but count yourself in and say, what do I have to do to be in the room? She does not do flights. She said they are nightmares.
True.
She does not do the actual flights, but what happens is as soon as you book your flight, after you've registered, you will send your flight information to her so that she can schedule your pickup from the airport and so that she can schedule your return back from the hotel back to the airport. So, and also she didn't say this, but if you decide you want to stay a little longer, let her know and she can get days added into your trip as well. So even though that's our window to participate, she can extend and make adjustments accordingly for those who say, I want to be there for a week or I want to be there for 2 weeks, so she's able to do that as well. Yeah. Someone asked the question, and I think the prices on the site are they're in euros, so we would need to pretty much see what the exchange rate is.
Yeah, so here's the reason that they're in euros is because money's volatile right now, right? And so they will not quote me in US dollars right now. It hasn't been like this in a long time. I'm sure you're aware euros and US dollars are pretty one for one. They're pretty even. And the reason I put it in euros is basically right now, that's pretty much what it is in dollars. But if we have a big, huge swing and something changes drastically in the currency, that's what we're talking about right here. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason to just pick it up and get it done now because we know that the rates are good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome. If no one else has any more questions for Michelle, thank you so much for jumping on. You guys, make sure you go ahead and get registered. Make sure that you use your discount code and make sure you fill out the link if you need some customization. As she mentioned, the payment plans are available until February of 2023. So you want to make sure you get in position if you need an actual payment plan. And one of the things she said that stuck out to me is that the things that we're going to be doing are things that some people only wish to be able to do when they go to Paris. And so I'm excited because she's been there and so she knows. And so it's definitely going to be a game changer with the trip. So thank you, Michelle, so much for jumping on.
Thank you for having me. So nice to meet everybody. And we will see you in Paris.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right, millionaires. Okay, so I'm excited. We have one more club chat before the end of the year. We've talked about the 5-figure goal for next year for each of you all. And so this strategy that we'll be rolling out is going to run throughout the year. So by the end of the year, our goal is to have you at 5 figures a month in your residual from interest, okay? But it's a couple of things that we as a team created today that we wanted to make sure that we give to you. And so I'm going to share my screen. I know many people are going to ask, when can I get the document? When can I get the document? The team will post it in the Telegram and the Facebook group. And it's also going to be posted in the email for the replay. And so one of the things that we created was a New Year's strategy checklist, okay? And so with this checklist, we're trying to help each of us, and I'm going to do this checklist myself, to see where we are financially, getting ourselves financially fit and seeing where we want to be, okay? And so over the next month, so we have a club chat next week, but I'm not putting pressure on y'all to have this done by next week. But by our first club chat in January, which I believe is going to be January the 4th, I don't know, the second Sunday in January, whenever that is, we will be starting the book, The Magic of Thinking Big with Dr. Jewel, where we're also going to be talking about this plan of action. And so thank you, January 8th. And so I'll be laying out some information at the top of the year, probably on the first Monday, I'll go into some detail, but then we'll also send it out as well. So this is just basically a strategy checklist, to-do list of things that we want to encourage each of you all to be working on over the next month so that you can start your new year off right. I will say this, that even though it's a New Year strategy checklist, this strategy checklist, New Year date is whatever you decide. So if there's a new club member or you feel like I need to start over, your new year could be March 23rd. Your new year could be April the 6th. Whatever that date is, you're working the plan for 12 months from that date. So that is your new year start date. Just so happens that we're rolling it out for a new year start date of January 1st. Okay, so all of you all plugging in. So these are a couple of things on the to-do list that I want you to do, that we want you to do. Number one, you want to write out all your assets. What are your assets? These are things that have value, that increase your value, that add money to you, okay? Then I want you to write out all of your liabilities. What are these? These are things that are taking money from you, that are reducing your value, okay? And then based off of that, you want to identify your current net worth. And the way that you do that is you take the difference between your assets and liabilities. You take your assets and subtract the liabilities. That will tell you what your net worth is. Your net worth could be positive, it could be negative. It just depends on what that looks like for you. So not only do I want you to identify your net worth, I want you to then write your desired net worth, okay? So for example, you may say, okay, Camille, based off of what I found, my net worth is about $250,000, but in the next 12 months, I would love to see my net worth double to $500,000. In the next month, I may want to see $750,000. There's no right or wrong answer. This is in accordance to your faith, okay? But just remember, faith and works work together. So you're going to write this thing down, but now what works are you going to apply, okay? So now you're going to identify your desired net worth. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to determine how much your current investments yield, okay? So any place that you have money or crypto or precious metals or whatever the case may be, you want to kind of determine what does that investment yield you on a monthly or a yearly basis, however you want to look at it. So let's just say, for example, things like stocks, crypto, precious metals, it can be really challenging to know what they're going to yield. But if you do a little research, you can kind of see what the history has been of the growth of those over the last couple of years, which can kind of give you a ballpark, right? There are investments that you have, like many invest in Novatech, where you can kind of get an estimate of what you potentially could see in a month or a year's time. So you're going to identify any investment that you have. You may have silver. You may own some silver. You may own some gold. You may have some stocks, like whatever that thing is. I know Bank of America sent me a statement congratulating me on my 0.01% on my savings account. So if you got money in your savings account, put that 0.01% down. Like, count everything that is producing for you right now, no matter how big or how small. Those pieces are important. Okay. So after you determine what those investments yield, now you're going to go back and identify what you want your investments to yield. So you may say, okay, Camille, I finally looked at this thing and my investment is really only yielding me about $2,000 a year, but I would love to see $15,000 a year, or I would love to see $10,000 a year, whatever that is. Remember, it's no right or wrong. And you're stair-stepping this thing. So I want you to think big, but I want you to think in phases. Okay. So that's kind of how I move. Like, I have different phases. Like, I had a first phase of my investments producing $4,000 a month. My next goal is my investments producing $10,000 a month. Then my next move after that is my investments doing $20,000. So you stair step it, right? And push towards your goals. You can know what that ultimate number is, but it's like, you know, the end point, but even in knowing the end point, what are steps 1, 2, and 3 to get to the end point? That's how I want you to think. Okay. So now that you identify what you want your investments to yield, the next step is to create an investment plan to get to your goal. What does that look like? It's going to look different for different people. So let's just say, for example, we're going to be running a play of getting to 5 figures a month next year. So in that plan, it's going to be important for you to identify how much money do I need in the different investment vehicles that I have based off of the percentage yield or the ROI. How much do I need in each of these different investments that collectively will yield me the return of the goal that I set? Okay. So now you have to do a little work to kind of say, okay, in this account, my goal is 10,000. In this account, my goal is 2,000. In this account, whatever that is, you now have to identify, you know, and make the plan so that you can get to the place where you want those investments to yield. Okay. So the next step that you're going to do, which is in conjunction with this 5-figure strategy plan, is that I want you to find money to invest from what you spend unnecessarily. So if you have been a part of the club for any period of time, you should be familiar with the necessity or nod tracker. It is actually in our Facebook group. It's in the Telegram group. I think it goes out in the email where you can access that. But also in this packet, I'm going to have another place instead of a spreadsheet. You can write some stuff out if you desire, or you can use the actual spreadsheet. Okay. And it's in the app from what Dr. Ashia said. Okay. So what I mean when I say find money unnecessarily, that you spend unnecessarily, like, for example, I love Starbucks. I like getting the grande iced coffee, no classic, with sugar-free vanilla and heavy cream for like $4 and some change, right? But in reality, it's like, okay, Camille, so you spending about $30 a week on Starbucks. You see what I'm saying? And $30 a week, that's $120 a month on Starbucks if you go every day. So Camille, is Starbucks really a necessity? Or could you really be investing that money? Maybe you should take some time to drink some water, okay? Take some time to drink some water and skip the Starbucks so that you can invest, okay? This is what we have to think about. Some of these luxuries we may have to give up in a season to get where we're trying to go, okay? For example, I have almost every streaming platform there is. I got BET Plus, I got Black, All Black, I got Stars, I got Netflix, I got, what else I got? Peacock. I got like, for real, like when I say I'm doing this for myself, I'm like, I'm about to cut off some stuff because the goals that I have, I need to align. Yeah, Keita said all of them. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, you got to watch this show. You got to watch this. So Right now, it's like, okay, Camille, while those are luxuries, you got some bigger goals. So when you think about it, all these streaming apps I got, but they be good though, because I just like them. So me and the Lord gonna pray and talk about them. She said, keep one of them. See, that's the challenge. I got to figure this thing out. But I'm just saying, I got all of them, like literally, because it's one show I want to watch here or one show. But it's like, okay, figure that thing out. So, so anyway, so then I have that. So I want you to kind of think about those things. Some stuff you just got to pay your light bill. You just got to pay your water bill. You see what I'm saying? You might not need cable right now. If you could, like, if you're a Forex trader like me, you can watch the news online. You see what I'm saying? So kind of think about those things. You know, she said, when do you really watch all of them? It's honestly, I like noise. So I'll play something. I could work at home all day and watch a show while I'm working and be very productive. So because I live by myself, I like the noise. You see what I'm saying? So I could probably get more done, but you know, Fire Stick, yes. Oh yeah, Fire Stick. I got one of those too. No, I gave mine away to somebody who didn't have cable. I need to get another one. See, look at y'all giving me options. Buy a Fire Stick one time and I can get rid of the $100 a month that I'm spending in streaming apps. So now what is that? More money for me to invest. Okay. So what I want you to do is go through, and you may have to pull up a bank statement. This may put it in perspective because I'm a great swiper. Like how Dora the Explorer be like, swiper, no swiping. I be like, swiper, be swiping. Like I swipe. And so in that swiping, I can't really say what I spend, especially on just stuff like I don't like to cook, so I eat out a lot. So I'm having to change my confession that I love to cook and that I can cook well. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't like the way I cook, so I ain't gonna eat it. I'll be done threw it away. I'm that person that will go to the grocery store and stop and get some food on the way home. So, you know, yes, Melanie said, get the notes from YouTube University for free. I love it. So we each just have to really be honest with ourselves about where we are, where we need to adjust, and what that looks like. Because with the goals that we have, it requires some compromise. Like, do I really want to compromise on watching Sisters and Zatima and all of that? Not really. Like, do I really want to compromise on some of my favorite shows? I don't. But at the end of the day, like, I'm putting money in their pocket, coming out of my pocket, still trying to hit other goals over here. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to, you know, take some time to make those adjustments. All right. So let's keep it going. The other thing on here, creating a debt cancellation plan. So Dr. Jewel is of the firm belief in, like Dave Ramsey and them say, get out of debt before you invest. Like, Dr. Jewel is a firm believer of investing no matter what level you're at. And so in creating a debt cancellation plan, you're making this plan to run simultaneously along your investment plan. It's not one or the other, okay? And so you need to take some time to write your debts out. What are the debts that you have? One of the things that I do, and I actually get ready to redo this for the year, is what debts do I have? And then not only the debts that I have, but I mark them in order that I want to pay them off, right? And not only how I want to pay them off, but there's a link that you're going to have access to where you can set up a free account and you'll enter all your debts with the interest rate. And then they will create a payoff plan for you. You're able to put how much you pay monthly. You'll be able to put how much extra you have to pay towards your bills. And they will literally tell you on this date, pay this, this, and this, and give you a plan of action to get your debt paid off. So the point is with this, as I'm stating it, is that this is not for you to just pay off debt and not invest. This is why the plan comes into play. Okay. And so the next thing you're going to do after you write that debt cancellation plan and see what your plan is, you're going to write down at least 3 things people will pay you to do. Remember, the person that solves the problem makes the money. So what problem can you solve? Many times people feel like I gotta, go do all these businesses. I gotta do all of this, and I'm waiting for my business to get up off the ground or whatever the case may be. But the reality is there is something that you can do right now that people will pay you for. Many have heard my story and things that I've done. Like, I can build websites. I hate building websites. But there were certain seasons in my life where I needed money for certain things. So I would be like, all right, I'm making $250 landing pages, and I knew that I only wanted to do 15 of them. So I would do a running countdown, and literally 2 days, I would have 15 orders at $250 a piece, and they paid me before I even started and did their website. So now I want you to think about, what problem can you solve? You do something that someone doesn't want to take the time to do, doesn't want to learn to do, or doesn't have the patience to do. Okay. Some of you all might be great organizers. So you may, put out there for the Christmas season, let me help organize you right after Christmas. You may say, I'm going to help pull your trees and stuff down and give you an organizational system for, it could be anything. You could say, I'm taking on 4 clients as virtual assistants. I will be your virtual assistant to help you stay on track of your appointments, your calls, your emails. Like, what is your area of strength that you can help solve the problem for a person? That's the things that I want you to think about. I want you to put numbers to what that looks like, because this is going to help you at the end of the day accomplish your goal. Because what happens is, so many times we'll have ideas and visions of businesses and things that we want to do, but then we need money to continue to grow now, but then we get stuck in not moving or doing anything because we're just laser focused here. And that laser focus is fine. There's nothing wrong with the laser focus, but when you're looking at a big picture, sometimes when we're starting businesses, whether they're big businesses or self-employed businesses, it takes some time to get those things afloat. So what are the other things that you're doing that can produce income for you now? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, literally, I could go online right now and push that I'm going to build some websites for some people. People will be blowing me up. See, Storm said I'm a great assistant. So Storm should put herself out there. Like, do you need a virtual assistant where you ain't even got to go nowhere? These are the things that I can do. Imagine some people saying, okay, as a virtual assistant, because you just at home and sending them reminders, could be like, I give you $250 a week to be my virtual assistant. Can you keep me on track with these things? So now that's $1,000 a month. And if you got 4 clients, that's $4,000 a month, and you ain't even had to leave your house. Do you see what I'm saying? So what are those things you're good at? You want to write those down and see what that looks like. And you put a price to what you're worth. You put a price to what that looks like for you. Even within my other business system, Maven, I don't really do much of it like that, but people have reached out on their business things that they need. And like, literally, it ended up, Kita's on here, we ended up catching a client because I do more business stuff and she does a lot of marketing stuff. And we have a client that we sit with her for a day for maybe like 6 hours or 5 hours, and she just give us like 4 figures a piece just to come do that. So know your value, right? And be bold in what your value is and what you have to offer. When you're bold in your stance, people will pay for it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to kind of give you some ideas and throw that out there for you, okay? The next thing that you're going to do, am I still here? I clicked on something wrong. Okay. Can y'all still hear me? I think I can. Okay. The next thing you want to do is identify every income stream that you have outside of your main income stream that covers your living. So the reality is this: we all may have a job or something that pays for life, but we are expanding beyond that to say, I want to create streams. But when you create the streams, it's important to earmark and identify what those streams are going towards. So when you look at this big picture of what your goals are, you are identifying. So you're going to identify every income stream that you have outside of the income stream that covers your living expenses. So let's just say you have a job, but then outside of the job, you got a paparazzi business. Outside of the paparazzi business, you got your Novatech PAM account. Outside of your Novatech PAM account, you got a babysitting service, like whatever those income things that produce any form of income, I want you to write them down. Now, after you write them down, you're getting more specific in earmarking that money towards your goals, okay? So like, for example, this is just an example. You may say, okay, of every stream, 10%, I'm giving my tithe, 25%, I'm paying off debt, 65%, I'm investing. This is just an example. Whatever you write or however you do it is no right or wrong, but the key is, in order for you to see some growth, you need to write down where your money's allotted and where it's going and actually move it there and do what you said you're going to do. Otherwise, 12 months will pass and you still have not gotten to where you wanted to be, or at least progressed towards it. Okay. So this is the basic checklist. And so what we did was we created different pages based off of this checklist. So you have your asset tracker where you'll put the asset, a description of the asset, and the value. So every asset you have, write it down. At the end, put the total value of your assets. Same thing, your liabilities. Every liability you have, write it down. Put the total of your liabilities, your current net worth, which is your assets minus your liabilities. Your desired net worth, you put that amount and your goal date for that net worth. And next thing we're going to do, as we talked about in the checklist, is your investments. Knowing what your investments are, the current value of your investments, what is the percentage yield and the frequency? The frequency means how often do you see that percentage yield? Is that a weekly yield? Is it a monthly yield? Or is it an annual yield? And then put the dollar amount based off of your like your current value of what that has the potential to be. Because remember, even with investments, there is no guarantees. So you could just put what its potential to be. So you have that. So this is where your investment plan comes into play. So now, even though you've gone over the investments above, you come back down here to put what is your goal for each of those investments, plus adding in new investments that you want to add to your portfolio. Okay. So you may say, okay, I got this investment that has $5,000 in it, is yielding me about 10% a year. But I would really like to see, 50,000 in that account, or 25,000, whatever that looks like. Because now what's happening is each of these investment goals, when you map them out as we get ready to start the year, is going to push you towards your 5 figures a month goal. So I want you to keep the 5 figures a month in mind. And so there is not going to be just one particular way that you invest. There are going to be things that you choose to invest in that Dr. Jewel may not have even shared with you. But of course, she is going to share with you the investments that she's doing and that she would recommend. And you trust your own financial gut on which ones you're going to do, not going to do, what that looks like for you, right? And so that's what you're going to do with that particular play right there. Then the next thing you have is finding money you already have, like we talked about. So this is an example of how you would use this. So you have your expense, Netflix, $15.62 a month. Is it a necessity? No. So that's free money. That's $15.62 that I have to invest. Electric, $102. Is it a necessity? Yes. So I don't have any free funds from that. So you're going to literally go through what your monthly expenses are, even if you have to pull up your bank account, and see what you're spending that's like residual bills. Whatever those residual bills are, put them down and you put, is it necessary or is it not? If it's not, I want you to be able to identify, man, I've been just spending an extra $500 a month that I really ain't have to spend. This is really something I could be investing. Someone said, if you have a car that you paid off, do you add it to your liability list? I honestly, if the car is paid off, I would add it as an asset. Honestly, it's going to depreciate in value, but it still has some value. You see what I'm saying? So I would definitely put that as a lot asset if it's paid off. So yeah, so that's how you would run that right there. And let's keep it moving. Your debt payoff checkoff list. Okay. So with this checkoff list, what you want to do is take some time to write down every debt you have and amount due. You'll check the box once it's paid off. Above here, I want you to go to this site, debtpayoffplanner.com. You can create a free account. I did a paid account. It was like $2.99 for a lifetime or something like that. I don't know what it is now because I've had it for like a couple years. And so what you'll be able to do in that payoff plan is to put every debt you have, what your monthly payment is, what is your interest rate. And you can choose if you want to do an avalanche payoff plan or a snowball payoff plan. Whichever one you pick, the planner will tell you what to pay in what order. You'll still keep all your payment due dates, but on some due dates, they may have you, if you have extra money allotted, they'll tell you, okay, your payment amount is 50, but for this one, you about to pay 200 because you told me you had an extra 500 a month to pay off your debt. You see what I'm saying? So you'll know how much extra you had to pay off your debt when you do everything we just went over above by looking at your streams and allotting percentage-wise what that looks like. So you'll have that. So an avalanche basically means they're going to take the debts with the highest interest rates. And you're going to pay the highest interest rates off first. A snowball means they're going to take your smallest payment and you're going to pay that off first. I love the snowball because it's more of a sense of accomplishment. So if you're taking the smallest payments and paying those off gradually, you're seeing more debt canceled. So that's more inspiring, but it's totally up to you because whichever one you pick, they're going to show you how much you're saving in interest by doing one way or the other. So you can make a decision in accordance to what that looks like for you. Okay. All right, so yeah, Kira, we're gonna post it in the Telegram group, Facebook group, and it's gonna go in the email. She said, I'm ready to get started now. You're gonna get this tonight. All right, so then the next thing that we have is, we talked about what problems you solve. So I want you to write down 3 services or things that you can offer. The amount per sale of whatever that product or service is. And then what would your sales goal be? So like, for example, if I'm saying I'm building websites, I'm charging $300 per website, and I got a goal of 10 of those. You see what I'm saying? So it's no right or wrong, but you pick what that could look like to produce an extra income for you. So now this right here, identify streams and earmarks towards your goal. So we talked about this, the different ways that you make money. So like, let's just say, for example, and you may not have numbers right now, but you may say, okay, let's just say somebody drives Uber. It's not, whatever you do to produce money is for a season to get you to a goal. So don't allow one thing or another to deter you. Let me say that. So you may say, I drive Uber. And so out of all the money I make from Uber, my percent for charity, I'm giving 15% tithe and offering. Out of whatever I make from Uber, I'm giving, 30% to or 50% to my investments, and then the rest of that's cancellation. Or I put percent other because you may have other stuff you want to put money towards. You may say, I'm taking a percentage of this and putting towards my Paris trip. I'm taking a percentage of this to put towards something for my kids. Like, it's no right or wrong. So you're going to now identify those streams and earmark towards your goals. So I would say normally what I used to do was say, any money I make from this just goes here. But then I found sometimes in certain instances, I was making more money in one place than I was the other. So I saw more effectiveness hitting my goals by taking every stream and dividing up percentage-wise across all of the places that money needs to be growing. So you determine, what that looks like. And so, yeah, that's it with the strategy. Okay. And so we're going to drop this out there for you to, start working on over the next 30 days. If y'all have questions or anything like that, you can feel free to post them in the Telegram chat. I love the scripture that Lillian put out there. That's one of our favorite scriptures when we first started trading Forex, Ecclesiastes 11 verses 1-2. And it's really true. It talks about how you should put your money into different places because you never know what bad luck is going to come upon the world. And so we just have to make sure that we're diversifying at a major level. Okay. We got to diversify at a major level because you never know when or if a certain area will dry up. And if, that dries up, you still want to have other things going. So that's all that I have. I hope you all were able to get something from, the chat. Does anybody have any questions for me before we wrap the call? Okay, well, I guess nobody has anything. So let's make it a great night. The replay will be out by Wednesday. We're going to post these documents into the Telegram and the Facebook group. Club chat next Sunday. Do not forget, get registered for Paris if you have not. And let's make it a great night. And we'll see you on the other side of money. God bless you guys.